I know you see it. I know you see it. Let's talk about it. All right, let's just get that over there for now. Yo, what is up, my beautiful people? My name is Paul, and for those of you who know me, you know that I was born and raised on the island of Bermuda. Shout out Bermy 441, we live with you vacation. Those of you who don't know, well, Bermuda is a small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That's right there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But it's hard to see from way out here. Let's get a closer look. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. There it is. The island of Bermuda. My home. And if you take just a slightly closer look, you can see exactly where I was born, at King Edward Memorial Hospital. Right there in Bermuda. So, growing up as a Bermudian, everything was normal in Bermuda. It was nothing, out of the ordinary. We grew up, this was normal life. But leaving Bermuda is when things get strange. I remember traveling to America as a Bermudian, as a child, and I've always got crazy questions like, do we live in huts? Are there roads? Is there an airport? Do we have schools? And I'm like, yo, how do you think we got here? On a raft? How do you think we're talking to you right now? Like, we taught ourselves? So I don't know. But anyway, I got a lot of crazy questions growing up as a Bermudian. Even to this day, there's still a lot of conspiracies surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Is there a hole in time and space, a portal, aliens, time travel? You name it. I've heard it as a Bermudian. So I decided to see what the internet is saying about Bermuda, to see if we can do some fact checking on what truth is out there. So what we're going to be looking at today is, let me show you, 11 captivating pieces of trivia you have to know about Bermuda. So this is a collection of facts you'll see about Bermuda by BuzzFeed. I know BuzzFeed is known for a lot of things on the internet, so let's see if bringing the facts about Bermuda is something that they can add to the resume. So let's see, 11 captivating pieces of Bermuda trivia you have to know about. Let's get into it. Number 1. New York is closer to Bermuda than Miami. And yeah, that's actually true. If you look here, it says New York, 774 miles, Miami, 1,035 miles. And that is actually pretty accurate. And if you're a Bermudian, you would know that many of us would actually travel to New York before we go to Florida or Miami. It's usually cheaper. We often go there for sales, Black Friday, Christmas shopping. We'll take like a weekend trip to New York because it's so much cheaper than buying things in Bermuda. I know you might think, oh my goodness, New York City is so expensive. But if you're Bermudian, New York City is a discount. And I don't mean any disrespect to all my New Yorkers out there, but Bermuda is just so expensive that even going to New York is a discount for us. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? So yeah, that is pretty accurate. Let's go on to number 2. Their source of fresh water comes from the rain. And it says here, limestone roofs in Bermuda have been designed to collect rainwater, which is stored in containers underground. First of all, they're called tanks, not containers. Ain't no one say, yo, my water container under my house is empty. No, it's that water tank. So, I gotta give it to them. This is true, definitely. If you look at the step design on top of the roof, you can see that this is what channels the water down into the tank, not the container, down into the tank, and it is stored there, and that is what we use for, washing our, everything from washing our dishes to taking baths and showers and different things like that. So if you ever go to a Bermudian's house, make sure you do not take a long shower. 5-10 minutes and get out of there because you're wasting water and the tank is running low. So get out of there if you ever take a shower in a Bermudian's house. Get out of there. So yes, it is true. We do get our water from the rain. We also have what we call is water trucks. So we got the waterman and the water truck, and he will bring you water to fill up your tank if you're running low. If it's not enough rain, for the week or for the month, you call the waterman, and he will, come hook you up with some water. So yeah, that's the thing. And there also is a small bit of reverse osmosis that happens in Bermuda. That's just some ways we get fresh water. But the roof is definitely the timeless way to collect water in Bermuda. it was surrounded by salt water. There ain't no lakes or anything like that. So we need to get our water somehow. Number 3, if you come to Bermuda, there's a high probability you'll see the island's most famous residents. My boy Johnny Bonds, a legend. Unfortunately, Johnny Bonds passed away a few years ago. But let me tell you, Johnny Bonds is a legend. Everyone in Bermuda knows Johnny Bonds from young and old. As it says here, one of Bermudian's most beloved residents welcomes people going in and out of Hamilton, which is the capital, the city, from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday. And there is even a bronze statue that has been erected in his honor. That is true. He's one of the only people I know in my entire life that has had a statue, dedicated to them while they're still living. And he's a living legend. Every day he goes out there, he's waving to the people. He will blow them kisses. I'm gonna see if I can find some footage of him in action. But he was just an amazing person, just a legend in Bermuda. Every day he would blow you a kiss. And when you see Johnny Bonds standing at that roundabout, your day is starting off right. You knew you was gonna have a good day, at least for the next couple hours, because Johnny Bonds will always put a smile on your face. Man, I miss Johnny Bonds. He's a living legend. Just a beautiful soul, an amazing person. Okay, number 4. Bermuda is home to pink beaches. Pink! You gotta emphasize the pink. And that's true. Bermuda is home to pink sand beaches, and the reason for that is in part due to the coral reefs and the other marine life that is present around the island of Bermuda. As the water would erode the coral and the marine life, it washes that onto the beach, onto the shore, and that mixes into the sand, and that gives the Bermuda sand a unique pink color. So if you look here, you can actually see the fragments of coral reefs and other marine life, and that is what gives Bermuda sand the unique pink color. But if you ever come to Bermuda, don't try to steal any of our sand, because that's a crime. That's a federal crime for you to steal any of our sand. Make sure you go to one of the local shops and get you a little bottle. Support local businesses. Don't try to steal our sand, because it's a national treasure and we will find you. But anyway, yes, the sand is pink and it's very beautiful, and it is actually noticeable. Okay, number 5. Out of anywhere in the world, Bermuda has the highest concentration of golf courses per square mile. And that is true. Bermuda being so small and having so many golf courses, the ratio is just so high. And I think it has to do with, a lot of the tourists. If you're coming to Bermuda to stay for any extended period of time, you gotta be rich. It's just how it is. You can't just vacation in Bermuda on a low budget. It's too expensive. So what do rich people like to do? A lot of rich people like to play golf. So Bermuda has a lot of golf courses. I guess they're trying to, play to the target demographic. But yes, Bermuda is home to the highest concentration of golf courses per square mile. Funny thing is, I've never actually played golf on a Bermudian golf course. I don't know if it's just too expensive or I just never went to ask if there was a discount for Bermudians. Okay, number 6. Bermuda is an archipelago that consists of over 181 islands and islets, totaling just over 21 square miles. That's right, the entire area of Bermuda is 21 square miles, and it's a collection of over 180 islands. So yeah, almost 200 islands make up the island of Bermuda. So I know you heard that saying, no man is an island. Well, in Bermuda, not even the island is an island. It's a collection of islands. So you see here the main island. Another popular island is Darrell's Island. And the thing about Bermuda is the smallest drawbridge in the entire world is located right here. Going into Somerset, it's the smallest drawbridge in the world. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and throw it up here on the screen. But yes, Bermuda is home to many islands that make up the 21 square island of Bermuda. So yes, that is true. Number 7. Bermudians are known worldwide as onions. Since the mid-1800s, onions have become one of Bermuda's major exports, so much so that Bermudians are known worldwide as onions, and Bermuda is known as the onion patch. Yes, this is true, but this is more so for the older generations, not so much the younger generations. I do know a few, older generations like uncles and great uncles and aunties that do still say onions, but not so much in the younger generation. You won't really hear people, from like late millennial and down calling people an onion unless that's something that, your parents or your grandparents were used to saying or calling you. But yeah, that is true. Bermudians are known as the onions. And it's so much so that on New Year's, instead of dropping a ball like in New York and other places, in Bermuda we drop a giant onion. That's right. In Bermuda we drop a giant onion to bring in the new year. I'll see if I can find a video of the onion dropping. But in Bermuda, you don't drop a ball, you drop an onion, because that's so much better. To bring in some facts, I know the plane is safe for now, but BuzzFeed, I gotta give it to them to bring in some facts, and I have, no problems with most of the things they're saying now. So they're bringing some facts here. Okay, number 8. Reportedly, Shakespeare was inspired by Bermuda to write The Tempest. And I've actually heard this in English class and, from various people that Shakespeare was inspired by Bermuda to write The Tempest. Let's see what they have to say. En route to Jamestown, the ship known as the Sea Venture, that is a real ship, shipwrecked on Bermuda. That actually did happen. The crew survived and made boats from timber on the island to continue their journey. The story is said to be the inspiration of Shakespeare's The Tempest. I can see that, the craziness of the island and the storms and the shipwrecks that happened in Bermuda. I can see it being an inspiration for Shakespeare's The Tempest. I mean, we can't confirm or deny, but hey, if they want to give us credit for inspiring, a very famous, work of literature, then hey, we'll take it. I mean, it's not the best indication of Bermuda, but at the same time, it's a very popular work of literature. So if they want to give it to us, we'll take it. Number 9, you can explore 5 centuries of nautical shipwrecks around the island. Yes, that is true. Bermuda has some of the richest, shipwrecks and diving sites in the entire world. From the coral reefs, to the shipwrecks from centuries ago. Bermuda is a very awesome place to go scuba diving and snorkeling. If you're ever in Bermuda, make sure you go scuba diving or snorkeling. It's amazing things that you will see. The history that is in the waters of Bermuda is amazing. Well, many of you don't know, before I went to college, I actually wanted to be a marine biologist. So I was actually certified in scuba diving. So I've actually been diving around Bermuda and seeing some of these shipwrecks. And it's an amazing thing. You have to experience it for yourself. Okay, so BuzzFeed is bringing some facts. I can't really argue with it. They're playing it pretty safe. Like I said, they're playing it pretty safe. So I can't really argue with anything that they're saying right now. So number 10. St. Peter's Church in St. George's is the oldest still in use Anglican church in the Western Hemisphere. The church was completed by Christmas 1612, making it nearly 404 years old. That is true. This is still an operational church that you can go to on any given Sunday. I'm not sure if they're still, going worshiping there now during the pandemic, but they are definitely still in use. You can go there on any given Sunday and worship in this Anglican church, and it's still in use. If you go in there, you can see the old architecture, how the ceiling actually looks like the old ships, because the people that built this were, shipbuilders. They used their shipbuilding techniques to create the ceiling of this church. And if you look up into the rafters, you can see it looks like the bottom of a ship. It's very beautiful. It's a very historical site. If you're ever in Bermuda, make sure you go to St. George's and check out the St. Peter's Church in St. George's. It's very historical and it's still in use to this day. The oldest Anglican church still in use in the entire Western Hemisphere. So let's see. Number 11, the last one. Bermuda was named after Spanish navigator Juan de Bermudez, who discovered the islands in 1505. That is true. Every Bermudian is taught in Bermuda history class that Bermuda was discovered by Juan de Bermudez, and I guess but the Spanish got scared off, so they left, and then that's when the British Empire came and settled in Bermuda, and to this day, Bermuda is a British colony. But in a parallel universe, the Spanish stayed, and everyone is speaking Spanish in Bermuda. So that is all 11 pieces of trivia or facts that BuzzFeed had to bring about Bermuda. I can say that most of them are pretty accurate, pretty spot on. I have no complaints. Just a few different things here and there, a few tweaks. But for the most part, BuzzFeed, they brought the facts on this one, and I have no complaints. This has been Bermuda vs. BuzzFeed, and if you want to hear more facts about Bermuda, if you want to know more about the Bermuda Triangle and all the craziness and all the conspiracy theories that are out there about Bermuda, let me know your questions in the comments. Let me know if you want to see another one directly related to all the crazy conspiracies about Bermuda, and I'll make sure that I bring you guys the facts. This has been Bermuda vs. BuzzFeed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.